I don't know.
Have you ever wondered about it?
Nah, not at all. No, sir.
Let me ask you one more thing about last week. Romeo said he didn't think the passing game would suffer despite the Fuller suspension because you're playing great and you had 100-yard receivers with Kiki and Hansen. Uh, are you confident they can continue to do that for the rest of the season?
Most definitely. I'm confident in Chad. I have experience with Chad over this whole COVID break. He was with me pretty much every training throwing session in the off season. Same with Kiki, and both of those guys have been proven. They've just been, keeping their heads down and learning from all the older guys, and then their opportunities came and they're ready for that. So we're gonna continue to, pass the ball and do what we do and try to get, instead of yards, but try to get more, points on the board also.
Aaron Wilson.
Hey, Deshaun. During the draft, Rick Smith, who was the general manager here at the time, he felt strongly that he should move up, trade up to get you. What has that decision meant to you? And obviously it's a decision that affected this franchise and also the other ones that didn't wind up with a quarterback in that draft.
Yeah, I mean, Rick, I can really just speak on Rick, but I appreciate Rick. And I appreciate, his trust in me and moving up and trying, getting the pieces right for me to be able to be here in this organization. And, I thank him and I respect him for that, and his gut feeling and trusting me. So I salute to Rick and his family and to this day, he'll ever, forever, have my respect for sure.
And off topic, you're getting in the restaurant business. You're an owner. How important was it for you to not just be an endorser on this one, but to have equity and to be a part of it? And what made Lefties the right opportunity for you?
It was just a vibe. It was Sam, the owner of it. Went up there and spent some time with him and his fam, and I just love their energy. Young entrepreneurs came from nothing that worked and hustle and still is, and not stopping until he at the top. And that's the person I want to be, in business with. That's the person I want to be around with. So I respect Sam and the whole Lefties family. And, I just want to be a part. And I didn't want to just do like a little partnership and do a commercial with him. I want to be a part of the family. And he opened the doors and let me in. So, we're going to do this together and make it the hottest franchise in America.
Aaron Reese.
Hey, Deshaun, what have you learned from JJ the time you've been his teammate about what it means to kind of be the face of this franchise and what the responsibilities that requires and just how you have to carry yourself?
I mean, just everything. I mean, just from the way he worked, the way he, carries himself as a professional on and off the field, the people he associate with, the way he does, business and talk to people, and the way he perform on the field. That's, all that stuff, all those things, he's doing at a high level. And, hopefully, whenever, later in my career, I have the same, mentality or impact, for the next young guy that's coming up.
I also wanted to ask you, David Johnson, he's putting up kind of the lowest numbers receiving for him of his career. What's been just the challenge of getting him involved in the passing game so far for you guys this season?
I mean, he missed four weeks, I think 3 or 4 weeks for concussion. And then, I mean, we have, 4 guys and 2 running backs. So, I mean, of course we want to get him active, but at the same time, you got Will Fuller, you got Cookie, you got Cobb, you got Stills, who was here. All those guys was here at the same time. So, I mean, we got a lot of weapons. So, you don't want to just isolate him to do one thing. You try to move him around and, move the ball around for sure.
Greg Bailey.
Deshaun, you mentioned to us Sunday in postgame that kind of dealing with a loss like that is something that you haven't done a whole lot of. How did you kind of process what happened at the end of that game after we saw you, and how do you turn things like that into motivation as you move forward?
Just gotta be, attention to details all the way to the end, and in the clutch, moments like that, we just gotta be locked in all the way. So that's pretty much it. But once Monday hit, it was over with, and on to Chicago, and we just got to keep pushing forward and, get ready for the next game. And
do the near misses fuel you to get better and reach those ultimate goals that you talked about afterwards on Sunday of taking this team, to where they want to go at the championship?
Most definitely, yeah. We just got to continue to charge it to the game and then, use that energy and motivation, for the next opponent, for sure.
Pat Finley.
Hey, Deshaun, I cover the Bears for the Chicago Sun-Times up here. I'm curious, you don't strike me as a guy who needs any added motivation, but is there any facing the Bears? And also, can you appreciate why this is an important storyline for other teams who have watched their team not draft you or pass on you?
Nah, it's no motivation. That's what the organization went with. I had no ties, nothing against the Chicago Bears or the organization. I mean, of course, the media is going to make stories. And like you said, for those fans, they're going to, of course, say something about it. But, for me personally, that's no motivation and nothing like that. They did what they did and just keep pushing forward, and they thought that was the, best situation for themselves at that time. So for me, it was just no motivation. I respect and got all the respect for those players and coaches and ownership at
And training camp's one thing, but it seems